What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel where we speak the truth, we're honest, we give our takes on the Miami Dolphins. Your Dolphins go down and they lose to the Buffalo Bills by a final score of 31-21. They are now 0-3 on the season, and I can't say I'm mad because we had extremely low expectations going into this game. The spread was 11.5 right before kickoff. A lot of people had us getting blown out, a 4-touchdown loss. Even Dolphins fans. I think this was as low and least energetic this Dolphins fan base has ever been before a game against the Buffalo Bills, because there was no hype at all coming from the Dolphins fan base, including myself, because how do you see us having a chance against the Bills? And they go out there tonight, and to about 3 quarters and 5 minutes, maybe, they hung in there with the Buffalo Bills. And when shit hit the fan, shit hit the fan. And again, it wasn't even the Bills I feel like it wasn't even the Bills that beat us tonight. The Miami Dolphins beat themselves. Just like last week against the Patriots, the Miami Dolphins beat themselves. And there's two people to blame for this game. And the first one we'll get to is obviously Zach Sealer. That is the third straight drive in a row that Buffalo goes 3-and-out. We do not need a blocked punt at all, okay? We were lucky to get the ball back, even if we would have started on our own 2-yard line. Fine. We still got the ball with a tied game with a chance to go take the lead. But Zach Sealer roughing the punter. You've got to be fucking smarter on that play, man. You are a captain on this team, and you got paid big in the offseason. You got your payday, and he's been a ghost this entire season so far through 3 games. And the only time he makes an impact is costing this team the game in a crucial spot in the fourth quarter against your division rival on prime time, where, you're in the game. I'm not going to say with your season on the line because that was last week, but you're in the game, and you do that, like, come on, man. You're better than that. You're a leader on this team. And that was very, very heartbreaking to watch in that situation, because Zach Sealer just basically awarded the Buffalo Bills 7 points. And that was the biggest play of the game, was the blocked punt. Who else blew us the game? None other than Tua Tagovailoa. Man, I'm sorry, guys, he's not the franchise quarterback. There's absolutely no way he's the franchise quarterback. And I do want to talk about what the NFL Network was saying about Mike McDaniel on the pregame show tonight, and if he's going to be fired like during this weekend or whatever. I do want to get to that, but it's safe to say this regime is done. It's finished. It's over. The entire league has it figured out. And this guy, okay, he is costing his team games every week. He's not he's not the only reason we lose, but damn it, he's a big reason that we lose. And it was last week against the Patriots with the interception, and then the last drive, he just doesn't come through again. And this week, here we go. We're down 7. We have a chance to go tie the game. We get down to the Buffalo 20-yard line. And guess what, guys? When he drops back, he stares at Jalen Waddle the whole time. He stares at him for 5 seconds and then throws him the football. And of course, that's an easy interception for Terrell Bernard. Like, dude, a rookie quarterback would make that mistake. Okay? You would expect, I don't know. You would expect like a guy like Cam Ward to make that mistake, okay? He's a rookie quarterback, first year. All right, fine. You would expect him to make that mistake. Tua is in year 6, and he snaps the ball, and he stares at Jalen Waddle for 5 seconds. And, like, that's stuff that you should not be doing as a veteran quarterback in the NFL. He's been in this league for 6 years, and he's still staring down receivers on his first read. And it's inexcusable. It's pathetic. It's unacceptable. And, like, I don't know, man. It's not fun watching Tua anymore. He's not explosive in the passing game as he once was. He's throwing these screens all game long, throwing sideways, short passing yardage. How many times did they take shots down the field tonight? The one time they did, Tua threw the ball behind Tyreek Hill. Now, the ball hit Tyreek Hill's hands. Tyreek Hill still should have caught in that. But still, man. How many times did they throw the ball deep downfield tonight? I'm really curious to see that. If there's a stat out there, I will go find that on Twitter. But, I mean, he's just dinking and dunking down the field. And, like, the escort screen pass to Devon Achane, he got absolutely lit up on a screen pass. Of course, the Bills were going to figure that out at some point in this game. And, like, the stat line that he had tonight, it's not good enough to beat a team like the Buffalo Bills. And I will say, before that interception, he had a solid game. And then that INT happened, and poof, all gone. All the positives that you had coming out of tonight, done. Finished. So, we'll go over the game, drive by drive, play by play. Again, I'm not even mad at this point, man. I expected to get blown out. So, the fact that this was a close game through all 4 quarters, I am proud of that. And I will say, too, so far, this was probably the best game that the Dolphins had all season, which is sad because we've lost all 3 games, but still, this is really, it's really sad that we're saying this is the best game they played all year, and it's a loss. And, this team just sucks, man. They suck at a lot of spots. They suck at a lot of areas in the game. And, they're 0-3. We're looking on to next year. They play the Jets and the Panthers the next 2 weeks. I'm not even sure they can beat those teams. I'm being truthfully honest with you guys right now. I'm not even sure they can beat the Jets and the Panthers. And that's not me being a hater. That's me, calling it how it is. I don't know if this team can beat the Jets and the Panthers, but now I don't even care about that. long term, like short term, sure. When we get to Monday night next week, sure, I will care about that game. But long term, okay, for the rest of the season, we have to figure out who's going to be a part of this organization long term. And if you're not going to be a part of the organization, then, Miami's got to trade them. Tyreek Hill. Trade him. Do right by Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill has about 2 good years left in him, I would say. And if you see him running out on that football field, running around the field, he's got a lot left in the tank, man. There's no way that he's washed. You just watch him out there, and he's got a lot left in the tank, and he could benefit a team contending for the playoffs 100%. A lot of people are saying Kansas City, but I still think that a team like Pittsburgh or a team like Washington or maybe a team like the Packers could use a dynamic receiver like Tyreek Hill. So you got to get rid of Hill. You got to get rid of Bradley Chubb. Every sack Bradley Chubb gets, his trade stock just goes up, 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 up. Jalen Phillips, I mean, it's a contract year. Has he really earned a big payday? He's hurt every year. He definitely took a step back this season. Does he really deserve a big payday in this organization? I don't think so. So maybe you can throw Jalen Phillips in there. Minkah Fitzpatrick, I don't really know. We just signed him. Or we just traded for him. I don't really know if I would do that. But guys like, and even like good depth pieces like Willie Gay and Matt Judon, like those guys, Benito Jones. I think you can trade those guys at the trade deadline and get some valuable pieces. I guarantee you the Dolphins can get a second-round pick for Tyreek Hill. And if they can do that, if they can get that, if they could get a second out of Tyreek Hill, I think that would be absolutely fantastic. But now you got to look at the bigger picture as a Miami Dolphins fan. You might not want to win these close games that we had tonight. You look at the situation at quarterback. Do you guys really want Tua Tagovailoa to be the franchise quarterback for the next few years for whoever this new regime is going to be? Absolutely, I don't. And I do want to talk about what Ian Rappaport said on the pregame show before we talk about this game. This was Ian Rappaport talking about Dolphins owner Stephen Ross's plans to be patient despite a slow start for the team. This was Ian Rappaport on the NFL Network before the game tonight.
Network insider Ian Rappaport. Ian, we're just 2 games into this season, but head coach Mike McDaniel is already facing mounting pressure. What are you hearing about his job security?
Oh, great. I'm the downer. All right, first, the important part. Stephen Ross, the Dolphins owner, does not want to fire Mike McDaniel. He doesn't. He wants this to work. He likes him. He believes in him. He has invested in him, including him a contract extension last year. Still has 2 years, about $19 million left after this year. And whenever he has had to, whenever possible, he has been patient. My sense is nothing is imminent for the Dolphins on that front. However, there's a caveat. That can change. If fans suddenly stop showing up to the stadium or if players stop playing for him, that can alter the situation.
You hear that? You hear that, folks? If basically what he's saying is, this is basically what Stephen Ross is saying. You can fly your banners around Hard Rock Stadium all you want. You can boo our team all you want during home games. I'm going to fire Mike McDaniel on my terms, and I'm not going to be peer pressured by you. That's basically what Stephen Ross is saying, and it's fucking shitty, dude. It is so shitty. How much more? How longer can we be patient for? We're 0-3. It is September 19th. at the time of recording. Our year's over. The season is fucking over, dude. I have no patience at all. And there's been fans that have said, like, oh, Mike McDaniel has brought some of the best memories I've had as a Dolphins fan. Yeah, sure, that can be true. But he's also brought some of the worst memories we've ever had as Dolphins fans. He doesn't win big games. He doesn't adjust. He doesn't win in the cold. He's not a leader of men. That's the biggest caveat of all of this. Is the fact that he went out there this offseason and said, we're changing the culture. We're going to be a tougher team. We're holding players accountable. Yada, yada, yada. It's all lip service, man. It's all fucking lip service. And now, we got to be patient. You want us to be patient. We've been patient for 25 fucking years. About to be 26. How much patient could we get? We screwed up not firing his ass last offseason. Because then we had a lot of great head coaching options out there. Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, Pete Carroll was out there. Who's going to be your top option this upcoming offseason? Mike McCarthy? I mean, at this point, anybody is better than Mike McDaniel. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I can be much patient. I don't know if I can be more patient. So, listen. At the end of the day, hearing this, I don't think he's going to get fired this weekend. I think Ross is too stubborn. He's old. He doesn't want to make a coaching change in the middle of the season. So this is my prediction. He's not going to fire Mike McDaniel this weekend. He should. He should, okay? He absolutely should. But he's not going to fire Mike McDaniel this weekend. But now they have 10 days. They have 10 days until their next game at home at Hard Rock Stadium on Monday Night Football against the New York Jets, which could be 0-3 against 0-3. And you'll be wearing your brand new all-black rivalry uniforms at home against a Jets team that they play Tampa Bay this weekend with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. They should lose. So if you go out there next week and they lose to the Jets at home on prime time in the new uniforms, I think he's gone. That's my prediction. Do I think that should happen? No, I think he should be fired this weekend. He should be gone this weekend. If I'm Ross, I'm firing him tomorrow. I would fire him tomorrow, but they're not going to do that. Based off what Ian Rappaport said. So, alright, man. We're 20 minutes into the podcast. I haven't even gotten to the game yet. The Dolphins, they're 0-3. Losing to the Buffalo Bills 31-21. For the most part, it was a competitive game until the roughing the punter by Zach Sealer. And it all went downhill then. So, and then of course, you've got the boneheaded interception by Tua Tagovailoa. So, let's go over some stats, and then we'll talk about the game. We'll start with the Dolphins first. Tua Tagovailoa, 22 of 34, 146 passing yards. What does that tell you, folks? What does that tell you? Tua threw the ball 34 times tonight and only had 146 passing yards. With the game plan going into it, Tua was not trusted by Mike McDaniel. And I got to give it to him. Mike McDaniel called an okay game. I'll give him that. With his job on the line, he had an okay game tonight. The offensive line had a pretty solid game. They didn't allow a sack at all. So, it's not the offensive line's blame. I'm really not blaming Mike McDaniel. I'm blaming it on Tua. And they had the game plan that I don't trust Tua, and we are going to dink and dunk the shit out of the Bills' defense. That was the game plan. Devon Achane, 12 carries, 62 yards. Ollie Gordon, finally they used him on short yardage situations, and he was great for the Dolphins tonight. 9 rushes, 38 yards, and a touchdown. Malik Washington, 2 rushes for 20 yards, and Tua Tagovailoa was 2 rushes for 10 yards. Tyreek Hill had 5 catches for 49 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Waddle had 3 catches for 39 yards and a touchdown. Devon Achane, 7 catches, 29 yards. Malik Washington, 3 catches, 12 yards. Only 2 sacks. Not good enough. Bradley Chubb and Terrell Dotson, who, gosh, I don't know what happened, but he was way better last year when they signed him off waivers than he is this year. I don't know what happened to Terrell Dotson, but the fall off is kind of crazy, dude. Josh Allen, 22 of 28, 213 yards, 3 touchdown passes. Of course, he tormented the Miami Dolphins. James Cook, 19 rushes, 108 yards. Dalton Kincaid, 5 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Khalil Shakir, 4 catches, 45 yards, and a touchdown. Elijah Moore, 2 catches, 30 yards. Terrell Shavers, 2 catches, 24 yards. Keon Coleman had 3 catches for 20 yards. And Jackson Hawes had a touchdown for the Buffalo Bills. Again, the Bills had no sacks tonight. And that one interception by Terrell Bernard to seal the game for the Bills. So let's do this. The Dolphins get the ball first and had a great return by D. Eskridge to the Buffalo 47-yard line. We got 3rd and 4, and Tua throws it to the outside to Tyreek Hill for 5 yards and a Dolphins first down. Excuse me. Tua to Devon Achane for 15 yards. First down. Ollie Gordon for 3 yards. You get Keon Smith for illegal man downfield. Which, by the way, in the second half, they benched Keon Smith for Daniel Brunskill. Thank goodness, dude. Keon Smith at guard. That experience did not fucking work. Not the slightest. Devon Achane had an 11-yard run on 2nd and 12, and then 3rd and 1. Ollie Gordon up the middle for 8 yards. And then 2nd and goal, Tua to Malik. For 4 yards, and then 3rd and 2. Ollie Gordon up the middle. 2-yard touchdown for the Dolphins. Your Fins are up 7-0. And that would be the only lead they had tonight. The Bills, 7 plays, 85 yards. They made this drive look too fucking easy, man. Too easy. First of all, first play, you got a defensive PI by Jack Jones. And then they just start running the ball all over you, dude. James Cook. Oh my god, I can't stop yawning, dude. I'm sorry, guys. James Cook for 16 yards. James Cook for 11 yards. James Cook for 3 yards. Josh Allen and Dalton Kincaid on 2nd and 7 for a first down. And then 2nd and 9, Josh Allen, wide open, Dalton Kincaid. I don't know who blew the coverage. Was it Jason Marshall? Was it Jack Jones? Anyway, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. The Dolphins go 3 and out on offense. The Bills get the ball back. 10 plays, 65 yards, and 5.5 minutes. James Cook for 9 yards. 2nd and 1, Elijah Moore on an end around for 11 yards. 1st and 10, Miami 43. Josh Allen and Dalton Kincaid, 12 yards. And then we'll go 3rd and 2. James Cook up the middle for 5 yards and a first down. 2nd and 10. Allen to Khalil Shakir for 9 yards. Allen to Keon Coleman for 4 yards. And then just a flip toss to Jackson Hawes for a 5-yard touchdown. Bills are up 14-7. Dolphins go 3 and out once again. And you get an incomplete pass to Tyreek. You get a screen. This was, I don't remember if that, no, this wasn't it. Okay, screen to Devon Achane for 1 yard. And then incomplete to Devon Achane again. And you got a punt. Then the Bills, they go 9 plays, 52 yards. 2nd down, James Cook for 26. I thought he took this one to the house. I'm going to be honest with you. It scared me a little bit. 2nd and 10. Josh Allen to Keon Coleman for 8 yards. And then an easy 3rd down conversion to Terrell Shavers, who was covered by Jason Marshall on the play, who ended up getting hurt and injured. Josh Allen, 3rd and 8, sacked by Bradley Chubb. And I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. Now that we're 0-3, the season's over, we need to focus on next year and the future, and we got to determine who's going to be a part of this team long term. I don't think Bradley Chubb is going to be on this team long term. I think that Bradley Chubb would be a great trading piece. You could probably get a 5th or 6th round pick for him at this point. And I'm telling you, every sack he gets, his trade stock just goes up. And he set the Bills back further. And Prater missed a she just shanked it. It was a good operation, but Matt Prater just shanked it onto the left. And it was still a 14-7 game. And this was the best drive of the whole season for the Miami Dolphins. This drive right here was flawless. Absolute flawless. 16 plays, 71 yards in 5.5 minutes. 2nd and 8, Devon Achane, 7 yards. 3rd and 1, who do you go to? You go to Ollie Gordon up the middle for 4 yards. Devon Achane for 4 yards. And then this was it. Tua hikes it, throws it right to Devon Achane, and Achane just gets absolutely obliterated in the backfield by Shaq Thompson. And This is where I go like, Mike, you're going to get fired. I don't care about you at this point. But, man, like, sooner rather than later, you know the Bills are going to know, oh shit, they're throwing outside screens to Achane. We got to start defending that. And, like, they read it like a fucking book, dude. Like, really, this guy, what happened to the creativity of Mike McDaniel? So, at least it didn't matter. But, horrific play call. 3rd and 12. This was Tua's best play all year. It doesn't say much because we've lost all the games. No one's going to remember these plays. But 3rd and 12, the pressure comes. He runs to the outside, and he runs like he throws a pass on the run, which was a great play to Tyreek Hill for 19 yards and a first down. Easily his best play all year long. And 3rd and 10, he gets a 5-yard pass to Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill turns it into a 13-yard first down. Then we get Ollie Gordon for 5 yards. A screen to Achane that, of course, gets blown up in the backfield. And then 3rd and 7, he evades pressure, steps up and runs, slides for a first down. You love to see it, man. You absolutely love to see it. And then Achane for 7 yards. And 3rd and 3, Tua to Tyreek Hill for 7 yards. And then next play, Tua, Jalen Waddle, touchdown. At least we got to see the Penguin celebration tonight. At least we got that. So you think to yourself, okay, man. We are tied 14-14 going into halftime on the road in Buffalo as a double-digit favorite. We're tied 14-14. And if you told me that 6 hours before kickoff, I would have laughed in your face. Coming from a Dolphins fan, I would have laughed in your face. But we were here, 14-14 at halftime, and I was feeling good, dude. I was feeling really fucking good. And then, of course, the defense comes out right after halftime, and they give up a touchdown drive. But I'm not even going to talk about most of this drive, okay? I have to at this point. 1st and 10 at the Dolphins 29. The Bills get a holding call. All right, it's 1st and 20. 1st and 20. What do you think happens? Josh Allen goes willy-nilly down the middle of the field running. Terrell Dotson tries to tackle him, like slide tackles, and then Dalton Kincaid just fucking shoves him to the ground. And these players are getting feisty. Good. They're sticking up for their teammate who just got shoved by Dalton Kincaid, which, by the way, wasn't a penalty, okay? I want to keep that in mind. Then we get 1st and goal to 4. Josh Allen does a QB keeper. He gets stuffed by Jordan Brooks, which is he's in a pile, but the whistle's dead, and Jordan Brooks tackles him to the ground. Now, was that smart by Jordan Brooks? No, it wasn't. It wasn't a smart play at all. But what I will say in his defense is Dalton Kincaid did the same fucking thing. After Josh Allen had that 19-yard run, Kincaid pushed Terrell Dotson because of how weirdly he tackled Josh. Jordan Brooks tackles Josh Allen to the ground when the play was over, and we get a penalty call. And that was horrible. That was a fucking horrible penalty. Should Jordan Brooks have been smarter? Yes. But if you're going to let Dalton Kincaid get away with that, Let fucking Jordan Brooks get away with the same thing too. Let the fellas fucking play. That's what I say. And then of course, run up the middle, touchdown, James Cook. Dolphins go 3 and out. And first play, yep, you guessed it, a screen behind the line of scrimmage that gets blown up in the backfield. Now it's 3rd and 11. Tua goes deep to Tyreek Hill. And yes, this ball was behind Tyreek, but the ball was in his fucking hands. And if what I always say, and what my coaches have always taught me, if the ball is in your hands, you got to come down with that shit. And the ball was in his hands, and Tyreek couldn't fucking come down with it. So I'm putting that one on Tyreek. That's huge. Then the Bills go 3 and out. What world are we living in? The Dolphins, they go 3 and out. And the Bills, they punt. 6 plays, 15 yards. 3 straight incompletions after the first down pickup to Shavers. So we're at 2:58 left in the third quarter. Tua to Devon Achane for 9 yards. Ollie Gordon up the middle. What a fucking beast. 16 yards to the Buffalo 42. And we get a big play to Julian Hill for 16 yards. And it gets called back by Jonas Savanea for illegal man downfield. Now, it didn't cost us in the end, but still, big penalty at that point in the game. Tua, swing pass to Devon Achane for 3 yards. And then we get to the end of the third quarter. We're going into the fourth. And this was fourth and 13. Or 3rd and 13. And I tweeted out before the game started, Mike McDaniel has nothing to lose tonight. He's got nothing to lose. He's going to get fired at some point this season. And if I'm him, I'm letting out the kitchen sink. I'm throwing everything you possibly can at the Buffalo Bills. I like this. A lateral to Devon Achane for 7 yards or for 10 yards, and you got to go for it. Tua to Jalen Waddle, 15 yards, first down, clutch. Devon Achane, 14-yard run, and on 2nd and goal, Tua to Tyreek Hill for a 5-yard touchdown with pressure coming in his face and off his back foot. We get a touchdown, and they tie the game. They tie the game 21-all. And then, here we go. This will make you want to slam your head on a wall. The Bills start on their own 35-yard line. They get a first down. 3rd and 7. Josh Allen, incomplete to Elijah Moore. The defense did its job. They did its job. That would have been the 3rd drive in a row that the Bills had to punt. They did its job. We did not need a blocked punt. But Zach Sealer, blowing up the line of scrimmage, leans into the punter, and he gets called for roughing the punter. And, you know, that's one of our captains doing that right there. Can't fucking happen in a game like this, where we are tied with your division rival on the road at 0-2, and you go out there and you do that. It's inexcusable, it's unacceptable, and it's fucking pathetic from Zach Sealer. And what happens next? You guessed it, a Bills touchdown. 2nd and 5 at the Dolphins' 15-yard line. Josh Allen to Khalil Shakir, touchdown. And then here we go. You got 7 minutes and 12 seconds to go tie this game. And this drive was going really good. Devon Achane, 2 yards. Tua, incomplete. Third down, Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle was Tua's third down, fourth down guy in this game. That's who he went to. That was his guy. So Jalen Waddle gets a first down. 2nd and 8, Tua to Julian Hill, 4 yards. And then 3rd and 4, Tua to Jalen Waddle, 13 yards. First down to the Buffalo 31. Ollie Gordon for 4 yards. Malik Washington on an end around for 6 yards. And here we go. We're at the Bills' 21-yard line. First down. 3 minutes to go. Guys, we're in no rush. We've got possibly the best quarterback in the NFL on the other sideline. We want to keep him off the field as much as possible. Tua's under center. He hikes the football. He stares at Jalen Waddle the whole time. And it's an easy interception for Terrell Bernard. Rookie quarterbacks make that mistake, not 6-year veterans. I'm sorry, but that was horrible. As horrible could fucking be. Sickening. Sickening that pass was. 3 times in a span of 4 days. This guy has had opportunities at either go-ahead or game-tying drives, and he's blew it all the time. All 3 times, he blew it. And he blew it again tonight. The Bills cheer up the rest of the clock basically until 27 seconds. Matt Prater makes a 48-yard field goal, and that's your game. That's your game. The Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 31-21. And now we look at the Dolphins, okay? They're 0-3. They got slaughtered by the Colts. They lost to the Patriots in a game that they had, and they blew it. They had this game against the Bills where we had absolutely no expectations. But hey, we had an opportunity to go down there, tie the fucking game. Our quarterback blew it again. He is not your franchise guy. No doubt in my mind. And these first 3 games prove me right. The Colts game, the Patriots game, and now this. And you know it's a shame? He actually had a solid game before he threw that interception. And now all the positivity I had about him coming out of this, he snatched it all away with that interception. So now what happens? When do we start trading players? When is Mike McDaniel going to get fired? Because he will get fired. Again, if I'm Stephen Ross, I'm firing him tomorrow. I'm firing him at some point this weekend. But I don't know if that's what he's going to do. Again, what I think he's going to do is he's going to give him one more chance because he's so stubborn. He's going to give him the Jets game on Monday night at home with the Black Unis. And the Jets are going to be 0-3. And the Dolphins are going to be 0-3. And if they lose that game at home on primetime to the Jets, goodbye. That's my prediction. So, I'm tired. I'm sweating. The Dolphins, man. I hate them. I fucking hate them, but I don't. And now, it's time to look at the bigger picture.